I was super skeptical when I first heard about this 88-word wealth scripted Bible study, but 6 months later, I've saved over $33,000. It's not wishful thinking, it's real.
The week I recited those 88 words, I found money on the ground, and I just knew it was a sign. Then came an unexpected check, and by the end of the month, I got a promotion and a raise. It felt unreal, like it shouldn't even be legal. Thank you, Daniel. God bless you.
What you're about to discover in the next 17 seconds about what neuroscientists are calling the wealth wave will change everything you thought you knew about the law of attraction or manifesting. It may even make you boiling mad because this wealth wave, which is unlike any brainwave you've ever heard of and has been hidden from the public, has proven itself to be the easiest and quickest way to attract wealth, money, opportunities, and good fortune. Not too long ago, an ancient 88-word wealth script from one of the oldest lost books on the planet was discovered quite by accident. The script activated this wealth wave and helped 11,879 people to become rich in less time than you can imagine. It doesn't matter how broke you are right now, or if you've been let down by every so-called manifesting guru and their empty promises in the past. The wealth wave is not only one of the most fascinating ways to attract money you'll ever come across. It will also give you an incredibly relaxed lifestyle that friends, family, and neighbors will be jealous of for years to come.
Those 88 words changed everything. After 10 exhausting years of living paycheck to paycheck, I became completely debt-free in just 5 months. Yeah. My life would never be the same. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Daniel.
Just promise me you will use what I'm about to reveal for the good of you and your family and community. If you only want to make yourself richer for purely selfish reasons, please click away now. You won't find it on YouTube or Amazon, or anywhere offline, or even on the dark net. Sounds a little hard to believe? I totally get it. I know you've been let down before. I was in your shoes, thinking that manifesting was just one big empty promise. I realize now, though, I just had the wrong information. You've been misled too, but not anymore. Like I say, 11,879 people have used this wealth wave to design their dream life. You will do the same. This is a story of redemption, from having to look down the back of the sofa for spare change, to never having a worried thought about money ever again. Don't miss your chance to repeat the words of this ancient wealth script with me in just a few minutes and experience the wealth wave for yourself. Before I go any further, you might be wondering, who am I, and why should you believe me? My name is Daniel Porter. A little over 4 years ago, we were emerging from lockdown. People were going back to work, making money again, getting their lives back on track. But not me, not my family. I had a small catering business on the edge of town, and we had been shut for nearly 2 years. We were drowning in debt, having taken some bad financial advice, and all my clients were gone. My income had disappeared, and as my savings dwindled to almost nothing, the price of everything was on the rise. I felt like a failure as a father, as a husband. And on a cold, wet Wednesday night in October, that feeling got worse. Way worse. My little girl Anna came padding into the room in her red dressing gown and said, "Daddy, I'm freezing." Her little hands were cold as stone as I lifted her up on my knee. In order to buy some extra groceries that week, I had delayed paying the heating bill, just by a few days. They never said they would cut us off so soon. I don't know what it was, but at that moment something inside me snapped. I needed to find a way out of this situation. I had had enough. I'd tried the law of attraction before, but nothing good was attracted into my life. The online businesses I got into just made the guy who sold the course richer while I stayed flat broke. Nothing was working. I needed a miracle. I believe when we pray for help, when we pray to God for a miracle, God answers those prayers. He doesn't always answer the way we would like either. My answer came by way of a phone call. It was David, a close friend of mine. We were both into self-help and improving our mindset. It turned out he had a spare ticket for a self-help seminar in the city that weekend. "I got you covered, my man. Don't worry about the price." It's on me. 2 days later, there I was. One of the speakers caught my attention like no other. He was very old, like at least 80, maybe 90, maybe older than that. His name was Dr. Robert Sullivan, and he had studied neuroscience at Stanford. He was slim and frail and moved slowly around the stage, but his mind was quick and razor sharp. This man had studied the minds of top-level meditators, healers, and psychics for decades. He had spent much of his research mapping their brainwave patterns and looking at how their states of consciousness could affect reality, and even alter reality. He talked about something he called the Hawthorne effect, where changes in the brains of people could affect the wider environment. There have been a number of experiments confirming this effect, like in the Hawthorne experiment, where a number of Buddhist monks moved into an area of Washington, D.C. in the 1970s, and the crime numbers suddenly dropped. All the monks did was meditate. He even talked about how they could heal themselves and even heal others with just the power of their minds in a state of consciousness beyond the conscious and subconscious mind, using a new state of consciousness. His speech was fascinating. I had to meet him. After summoning up the courage to talk to him afterwards, I waited for a moment until he was alone and introduced myself. Love your speech. I could do with some of that healing myself. I was not expecting what came next. He looked at me suspiciously and barked back.
Are you one of them? Come to threaten me like before? One of those government people?
I was taken aback. No, I'm not here to threaten anyone. I just want to know more about your research. In that moment, something changed. He cracked a smile, a warm smile, and apologized.
I'm sorry. Things happen around these seminars. They get me on edge sometimes. Shady government figures coming to threaten me.
I nodded yes, even though I had no idea what he was talking about. I know that feeling, I said. I've been on edge myself recently. We started chatting. 5 minutes later, I ended up spilling it all. I told him about my money worries, my debts. I even ended up telling him about that moment with my little girl where I could not even afford to keep her warm. I could see he cared. You could see it in his eyes.
If I help you, Daniel, do you promise to use what I show you for good? To help your family and help your community?
I promised I would.
Meet me at this address tomorrow.
The next day, I found myself at an abandoned industrial site on the edge of town. Dr. Sullivan greeted me and led me into what seemed like his private lab. It was a little nerve-wracking. I had a thought flashing in my mind of being drugged and getting my organs harvested for a second.
You only heard a fraction of the truth on that stage yesterday.
What he told me next would change my life forever. It turned out that Dr. Sullivan was a neuroscience genius who had been a key figure in what was known as the remote viewing experiments by the CIA during the Cold War years.
The remote viewing experiments program began at the Stanford Research Institute in the early 1970s. The CIA ran them. The goal was to determine whether remote viewing could be reliably used for military intelligence purposes. Remote viewing was all about accessing different mind states where test subjects could actually spy on what the Russians were doing. One remote viewer could describe the layout of Soviet military bases he had never physically seen thousands of miles away. Another well-known remote viewer was used to locate enemy installations and missing persons using nothing but his mind. Some reports claim that remote viewers accurately described details about the Soviet Typhoon-class submarine before its public discovery. All these remote viewers were accessing a new state of mind beyond what the conscious or unconscious mind. The program was officially shut down in 1995. What most people don't know is that these remote viewers were accessing a new state of consciousness, known as the superconscious state. The superconscious state is the third level of the consciousness beyond the conscious and unconscious mind we all know about. The famous psychiatrist Carl Jung had mentioned this level of superconsciousness 100 years ago. He called it the collective unconscious, a third deeper level of consciousness shared by all humans. The famous psychologist Maslow had talked about this third level of superconsciousness too. He referred to it as a peak state or flow state, which you might be familiar with today when musicians and athletes talk about it. Extraordinary things can be achieved in this peak state or superconscious state. Inside this superconscious state, remote viewers were able to move beyond the bounds of this reality and see far away into other countries just by using their minds, like military bases in the Soviet Union. As it turned out, this was just one of the reality-altering abilities of the superconscious state, a mind state that is beyond the conscious and unconscious mind. Subjects were also able to change events that happened to them and create fortunate events in the superconscious state. More on that in just a second. What most people don't know is this was not the first time the CIA had experimented with the superconscious state. They were using data and research from other experiments many years before to access this superconscious state. Sri Aurobindo was a Hindu mystic and spiritual leader who had visited the USA in 1947. He was famous for delving deep into the nature of consciousness. He was said to know the secrets of awakening and transcending ordinary consciousness into a new conscious state. He was said to have access to an ancient lost Hindu text known as Kapila Samhita. It was believed to contain profound insights into cosmology, consciousness, and spiritual liberation. Some legends suggest that it also included teachings on how to access the superconscious state. According to Sri Aurobindo, although this superconscious state was seen as something relatively new, it was anything but the Hindu ancients saw the superconscious mind as a natural state where they were able to manifest whatever they wanted at will. Ancient Hindu kings and leaders had used the superconscious state to build their famous Hindu temples, like those in Konark on the east coast of India that contained immense wealth. Wealth that would make the ancient Egyptians and their pyramids look like cheap sandcastles. Sri Aurobindo went missing for a number of months after his visit to the USA. After he reappeared, rumors spread about how he had spent some time with the CIA, where they had got information from him on how to access this superconscious state. It was rumored that the Rockefellers had financed the whole operation, and how one particular passage in the lost book Kapila Samhita had a script inside it that helped people access this superconscious state. The last thing the deep state and Rockefellers wanted was ordinary people getting access to this superconscious state where they could become financially free. I mean, how would big billionaire business owners collect their billions in profits without a low-paid slave wave workforce? Years after the visit of Sri Aurobindo, the CIA's remote viewing experiments started. When subjects in the remote viewing experiment were read one particular passage from the ancient Hindu text known as Kapila Samhita, they entered the third state of consciousness known as the superconscious. This superconscious state was a series of brainwaves working in concert with each other, giving rise to a new brainwave. A blend of different brainwave frequencies associated with heightened awareness, deep relaxation, and enhanced cognitive function. Beta, alpha, theta, and delta brainwaves, all working together in harmony. All working together in this superconscious state, leading to this optimal level of superconsciousness. The researchers had even nicknamed the new brainwave the subjects experienced the wealth wave, because of the money that was attracted to people in the superconsciousness mind state, where their brains produced this wealth wave. Many people involved in the remote viewing experiments experienced lucky or fortunate events. Some had checks arrive in the mail out of the blue. Some got unexpected inheritances. Some won money on scratch-off tickets when they never won a thing in their life. So many of these events happened, in fact, that the deep state behind the remote viewing experiments got nervous and shut the program down. It happened super quick, almost overnight, with no warning. They considered this level of superconsciousness and the wealth wave it produced to be a threat to the state, a greater threat than one posed by the Russians at that time, as it helped deliver financial abundance to ordinary people. Billionaires like the Rockefellers could never build their empires on cheap labor if ordinary people could access financial abundance by themselves so easily. And that's why the CIA locked the ancient Hindu text known as Kapila Samhita with its wealth script away in one of their COA vaults. Not before I was able to get a copy of it, though. Late one night, I took pictures of the script when no one was around. The 88-word ancient script that activates the superconscious state and the wealth wave in the brain. They would have killed me if they found out. Do you remember your promise to help others?
I nodded silently, still trying to take it all in.
Now is the time to fulfill that promise. They are watching me, but no one is watching you. You can help yourself and others.
He handed me a USB key.
The script is on this USB key. Use it to help yourself and then help others.
I didn't know what to make of what Dr. Sullivan told me. It sounded almost too good to be true. So I decided to try it out. There was a food bank close to our home that was struggling to stay open. They just didn't have the funding to keep going. I knew the owner because I used to supply them for my catering company when we had food left over. I gave the owner the 88-word script and told him about its power to attract money. He was understandably skeptical at first. But after 4 weeks, the strangest thing happened. The food bank got an unexpected check through from an anonymous benefactor. This person had once relied on the food bank to get back on his feet financially after losing his business. The money was his way of repaying them. Coincidence? Maybe. So we tried it out once again. One of the caterers that used to work for me had been unable to work as a chef since lockdown. He used to get really bad headaches. Within a week of listening to the script, his headaches had vanished. What was even more surprising is he was offered a head chef position in a leading hotel in the city. The salary was more than he had ever been offered before. One of the women on our research team had always struggled to find love in her life. The men she met would not commit and said they only wanted something casual most of the time. Within a week of listening to the 88-word ancient script, she accidentally met the man of her dreams in a coffee shop. With results like this just being the tip of the iceberg, we knew we were onto something amazing. I made contact with Dr. Sullivan again and asked how this 88-word ancient wealth script worked in more detail. In his research, he had found that the words of the ancient script activated a part of the brain known as the prefrontal cortex, particularly associated with higher order thinking, often associated with spiritual insight. This ancient script was activating the prefrontal cortex of subjects when they recited or listened to the words in the script, restoring them to their natural abundant self where they experienced the wealth wave brain frequency inside the superconscious state. Dr. Sullivan said again,
"Remember your promise to me. If this works for you, you will share this with other people."
I agreed and confirmed my promise once again. I went home that night and listened again to the ancient words of the script. It felt like I was transported away to another place. An image came into my mind of a crystal blue stream running over me, where my mind and body were flooded with peace and harmony. I woke up the next morning full of hope and expecting something wonderful. But the opposite happened. My wife, Emily, shouted at me to wake up. "Look outside!" she screamed. I couldn't believe it. They were towing my car away for delayed payment on the lease agreement. My heart sank like a stone. I felt like a fool. Manifesting scripts? The CIA? What was I thinking? I muttered angrily to myself. Then, the next morning, something amazing happened. I got a call out of the blue from a company looking to set up a catering business. They were one of the largest food companies in the USA, and they wanted me to be the consultant behind the business, advising them on the different steps it would take and the money they were offering. An upfront fee of $10,000. Not a fortune, I know, but enough to get me out of a serious financial hole. I couldn't believe my luck. I got some investment advice from a friend about an obscure crypto meme coin. This is not something I normally would invest in, but I bumped into this guy straight after I had listened to the Ancient Wealth script, so in some way, it felt like it was fate. 6 months later, I saw a 500% return on my investment. From there, things snowballed. My income and wealth grew like never before. We moved into a brand new 6-bedroom home in one of the best parts of the city, paid for in cash. And what made myself and my wife Emily even happier was being able to make a massive donation to that local food bank that now feeds thousands of people every month. I felt a bit strange having all this money come flooding into my bank account at first. To be honest, I felt a bit guilty about it all. Then I talked to Dr. Sullivan, and again he reminded of my promise to help others. So that's exactly what I set about doing. It was family and friends at first. My wife's brother John had always struggled in his sales job. He struggled to keep up most months with the others at work and was always last on the sales leaderboard. After 1 month of using the 88-word script, his fortune turned on a dime. He went from the bottom of the pile to right up the top of the leaderboard. He is now in talks to get a regional promotion and a massive pay rise. A close friend of my wife Emily worked as a teacher. Here's what Jasmine said. I worked long hours as a teacher for the last 10 years. I loved it. But of course, the long hours and after-school work took their toll, and money is barely enough to cover bills most months. When I heard about the script, I thought, sure, right. How is a script going to help me? I never thought it could work, but I could not have been more wrong. Within the first month of listening, I got a completely unexpected cash windfall. I now work part-time because I love it, but money is not an issue for me anymore. Samantha was another close friend of my family. She says, I have tears of joy running down my face. I never thought this would work, as I don't believe in all this woo-woo stuff. How wrong could I be? I worked as a graphic designer for years and sometimes made almost zero money in a month because it was all freelance work and so unpredictable. Within 3 weeks of listening to the script, I got the call from what turned out to be my dream client. I've made enough money for a 6-month stay in Bali, and I have more money coming in than I know what to do with. It's quite incredible. And these stories are just the tip of the iceberg. More and more of these stories came flooding in every week, so much so that we knew we had to help others even more. So, we came up with a name for the script. We called it the Wealth Wave Script, the ultimate money attraction script inspired by ancient Hindu wisdom and developed by a top neuroscientist proven to do the work for you to effortlessly attract wealth, break bad luck with money curses, and attract more abundance than you can imagine possible right now. My favorite thing about it is how easy it is to use. While other people are working long shifts at jobs they don't like and fighting to crawl through rush hour traffic every day, you can sit back and attract money like a magnet attracts iron filings. Using the Wealth Wave script could not be easier. Here's how it works. Step number 1. Wake up like you normally do and have your morning coffee, if you like. Pop on your headphones and listen to the Wealth Wave script. Step number 2. Go about your day as normal. No effort, no overthinking. Step number 3. Watch what happens as wealth and good fortune seem to find you, to seek you out and transform your life for the better. And just a quick word of warning. If you're watching this video right now, you still have a chance to claim your copy of the Wealth Wave script. Not for long, though. The elites do not like information like this getting out there. They have already made a number of attempts to get this site taken down. I don't know how much longer this site will be online. So if you even think the Wealth Wave script might be right for you, do not leave before you claim your copy today. So you might be wondering, how much for access to the Wealth Wave script? Let me say first of all that I do not need to make a profit here today. I'm not in this for the money. I have more money flowing into my bank account these days than I know what to do with. Ask yourself this, how much would it be worth to never worry about money ever again? To never worry about any bill or payment? Ever? What would it be worth to have more than enough money for anything you like? More than enough money to vacation wherever you want? More than enough money to pay a bill or send your kids to the best schools? Having that kind of money is priceless. Many people who had no money before tried out the Wealth Wave script and told me I should be charging $3,000 for it. After all, they got back 10 times and more when they tried the Wealth Wave script. That did not sit well with me, though. I know if you're here right now that money is an issue for you in your life, and that kind of price just excludes people. That's not what I wanted. So you don't have to invest $3,000 to get access to the Wealth Wave script today. Or half of that again. Hit the order button below right now and get instant access to the Wealth Wave script for just $39. That's a one-time risk-free investment of just $39. That's not even the price of 2 Starbucks coffees a week for the next 2 weeks. When you hit the order button below right now and enter your details, you will be sent an email with immediate access to the Wealth Wave script. There will be nothing to wait around for in the mail and no delivery charges to pay. We use a 256-bit security encryption software on ClickBank, one of the world's largest retailers of digital products. It's the same security software that Amazon uses, so your payment details are safe at all times. And of course, it's 100% risk-free. Hit the order button below, get instant access to the Wealth Wave script, and if for any reason or no reason you are not 100% happy, simply send a quick email through and you will be given an immediate refund. No questions asked. I want to build a long-term relationship with you, and I can't do that unless we start off on the right foot, with you attracting more money and good fortune than you ever thought possible. Claim your Wealth Wave script today, and you will also get access to the following bonuses absolutely free. Your first fast action bonus is the Brain Abundance Reboot. Many of us have had negative experiences in the past that still affect us today. These experiences can stop us from being fully in the moment and enjoying life, especially after you become wealthy with the Wealth Wave script. This brain reboot uses a powerful sound frequency to help clear negative experiences in the brain, holding you back from fully enjoying your ideal life. The second fast action bonus is the Ultimate Affirmation Code. You may have used affirmations before and had limited success with them. Many of us do. But affirmations are a super powerful way to attract what you want when they are done the right way. The words we speak carry an energy that we can project out into the universe to help us claim what we want in life. This Ultimate Affirmation Code will show you how to do affirmations the right way so you can maximize their results in your life. You will also get Sleep Well brainwave frequency. You probably know how important sleep is when it comes to your mental and physical health. What most people don't know is that sleep is also vital when it comes to manifesting and maximizing the gains you get from the Wealth Wave script. The Sleep Well brain frequency will give your brain the powerful theta wave frequency it needs to maximize your manifesting abilities in the coming months. All these bonuses have a combined value of $567, yet they are yours today for free when you get instant access to the Wealth Wave script. Just hit the order button right now and get instant access. I'm always amazed at the feedback I get every week from people who are transforming their lives with the Wealth Wave script. Emily Johnson from Orange County, California says, "I gotta be honest, I never thought something like this would work. But after struggling to make ends meet after college with my Amazon delivery job, I thought, why not give it a go, as it was risk-free? After 2 weeks of using the Wealth Wave script, the online side hustle business I was working on at home took off like a rocket. I got 3 orders in 1 week for my design business. That was enough to quit my soul-sucking job and finally have time to relax while working a lot less hours." John Michaels from Austin, Texas says, "Who would have thought a script that accesses my superconscious mind would enable me to take a well-earned break from my role as a teacher and travel the world first class with my family?" But that's exactly what happened, with zero effort on my part. Rachel Anderson from Atlanta, Georgia says, "I have not cried for 3 years, but I cried when I saw the results coming in from using the Wealth Wave script. I have since quit my job in Walmart and have attracted enough money to retire my husband and have more time than ever to enjoy ourselves." You are just moments away from that magic moment in a month from now when you wake up and realize your life has transformed. When you realize your money worries are a thing of the past. When you receive unexpected deposits in your bank account. When money-making opportunities fall into your lap. These kinds of money miracles are commonplace for those people who have the wealth wave script. Your friends and family will be left scratching their heads wondering how you got so successful so fast. Remember though, this opportunity will not be around for long. The elites need to keep people broke or just over broke, and creating jobs is one way they use to control people. The word JOB stands for to provide the goods and services the rich need at the lowest price possible for them. The elites have already tried to crash this site. They will try again. So if you even think the wealth wave script is right for you, you need to act now. Don't let them control your financial destiny any longer. There is one of two paths you can take right now. Path number one is the path you have been on all your life. If you're broke or worried about money right now, this path just leads you in the same direction to the same destination of more money worries. And it usually gets worse over time. The alternative is a no-brainer. Hit the instant access button below to get instant access to the wealth wave script and all the bonuses today. Then sit back and watch the money come flooding into your life. It's a no-brainer decision, a decision you must take now and not put off any longer, as this site may not be around much longer. Hit the instant access below right now. Your future self will thank you for it. Still here? I totally get it. We've covered so much in this video that you might have some things you're wondering about. Here are some of the more common questions we get. What is the wealth wave script? The wealth wave script is an ancient script that helps open up a third level of consciousness called the superconscious. Inside this third level of consciousness, your four brain waves all work in harmony, and you experience a new brain wave known as the wealth wave for manifesting new realities you never thought possible. This new level of consciousness has been known about for years and studied by CIA neuroscientists in their covert experiments, but not talked about widely till now. Is this like the law of attraction? No. The law of attraction works by interacting with your conscious and unconscious mind. The wealth wave script works when you are in a superconscious state. The third level of consciousness is way more powerful than the law of attraction. How soon do I see results? All our minds are slightly different, so this can vary from person to person. But I would use the wealth wave script for 1 month and see what happens after that. I guarantee you'll be pleasantly surprised. How does the guarantee work again? Your decision to get the wealth wave script is 100% risk-free. You are just taking it for a test drive. Get instant access to the script today and use it for the next 365 days. And if for any reason or no reason you are not happy, simply email me for a quick, no-hassle refund. Can I buy the wealth wave script on Amazon, now or later? The wealth wave script is not and will not be available anywhere but on this page. You cannot buy it on Amazon now or in the future. You need to act now, as in today, to make sure you get access to the wealth wave script. All that's left to do is hit the instant access button to claim the wealth wave script today. See you soon.